Elon Musk this week had a message for giant companies like Disney, IBM, Sony, who have yanked their advertising from his platform X or Twitter amid a firestorm of controversy that has included some nutty and anti-Semitic things he said and broader accusations. The platform has become much more dominated by hateful commentary since he's taken over.
You don't want them to advertise?
No.
What do you mean?
If somebody's going to try to blackmail me with advertising, blackmail me with money, go f yourself. But go f yourself. Is that clear? I hope it is.
Is he really willing to sink the Twitter ship? Is he really willing to go in, Tony? Is he really willing to sort of say goodbye?
Yes, he clearly is. I mean, when he bought it, he was prepared to say goodbye because since he bought it and that fiasco that, you know, came from him trying to buy Twitter, it was already on its way out.
But Stephen, I guess I took him at his word with regard to being a sort of free speech advocate. When I say took him at his word, I don't mean like everything, but generally, that he was just going to allow for more stuff. Yes, I accepted there'd be more hateful stuff on there, et cetera. But, you know, that I didn't have a problem with, per se, right? I tend to support having more commentary rather than less, less restriction rather than more. But at this point, when he's saying stuff like this, it just seems like he's kind of throwing in the towel.
I think his motivations originally were sincere. I do think that when he was asked, hey, do you regret this entire emergency, he actually had to think about it. It was like, oh, wow, you know, I could have used $44 billion for a lot of other things. I mean, X/Twitter is going to survive in some form no matter what. It still maintains its place as our de facto social media town square. And either if it's Elon or some other organization or group, I do think it's possible that Elon does what he's done at other points in his career, too, which is appoint a CEO and say, look, I've got other stuff on my plate. I think that's a possibility.
Well, that's sort of what he was supposed to be doing already. With this
Linda,
woman,
yeah.
With Linda, who's been brought in. Let me play a piece of sound here. This is him talking about killing the company.
What this advertising boycott is going to do, it's going to kill the company. And the whole world will know that those advertisers killed the company.
Well, he's showing this is what's happened in history. You cannot look at what happened to talk radio, which was largely conservative talk radio. Once the boycott started happening of people like Rush Limbaugh, Sean Hannity, Glenn Beck, guess what? Talk radio has gone down to now they're fighting even to get AM radios on every car system. I think he knows that if he does not stand up right now for freedom of speech, what he bought X to do is out of principle. They're going to continue to chip away at him until he is gone.
But doesn't it matter that he's saying some crazy stuff? I mean, as the guy, I mean, look, I'm with you to a degree, but he's also continues personally to say stuff that is just so beyond the pale when it comes to, forget about the sort of anti-Semitic tropes, the Pizzagate conspiracy theory, et cetera. I mean, when you run the company and you go on your platform and say crazy stuff.
Right. I think he's a bad fit as the head of a major media company. Which is what X is. In fact, and he's excellent at a lot of other things that we all know, rockets, electric cars, satellites, you know, there are many strengths he has.
Well, when he made a mistake when he got rid of X's, you know, when he got rid of X's slave name and went straight to X, which was Twitter before, and he had people that were, you know, actively using the platform. People still use the platform, but it's become like one of these right-wing chat rooms at this point, and I think that
as compared to how it was before, when usually more conservative voices were stifled and were put down.
Stifled? Or
oh, absolutely. They were definitely, but that is what all of those papers that came out, internal memos came out and showed that they were taking certain accounts and they were not being given the same access to the public like others.
I think when Trump got banned from Twitter for what we're talking about, language, you know, you're in a position, a high-level position, and you use language the way Elon Musk is using language, the things that he will not apologize for.
These companies were going to boycott X regardless. They were looking for the right reason to pull their money anyways. And he did.
Okay.
The vast majority of political figures, every party, are still on X because it is indispensable for politics.
Well, also, you think about the amount of time and effort so many people have put into building up their followings, right? Giving that up is going to be tough for a lot of people. You know,
Yeah, there's no place to go. Yeah.
Well, there are other places. Liberals are flocking to places like Threads and elsewhere, so we shall see.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.